I'll wait for the attendees to join. And if the attendees in the chat can type a GM in the chat so we know we are live, that will be helpful. Give it a couple of seconds. Okay, so we are live on YouTube as well. For the attendees in the Zoom chat, can you type a GM to see if you're here? It's always the icebreaker GM. There we go. We have our first GM, so we know everything works correctly. Cool. So I guess we can get this started. So welcome everyone to our final workshop for day 4 of the Reignite Hackathon. It's been quite the day. We had office hours, we had mobile development workshop, and now we're kind of like diving into the identity proof with zk technology. Just a couple of housekeeping. If there are any questions, feel free to use the QA section in Zoom. This session is recorded, so the video will be available shortly after this. And make sure to join the Telegram session or Telegram group so you can follow up with the discussions from teams or projects and stay up to date with anything else. In this workshop, you will learn how to create proof identity from a Twitter login and generate proofs using zkTLS. And I'm excited to introduce Dev from Wootzapp, who will show you how to create all of this. I believe all you need to know is JavaScript knowledge, but I'll let Dev to let you know. So welcome, Dev. The floor is yours.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Dev. I am from Wootzapp. So what we are doing is Wootzapp is a Chromium-based fork Android application that have a power of extensions as well as the power of Web3. So in this session, what we are going to do is we are creating a ZK proof, which is exactly called as zero knowledge proof. So in this session, we are going to show like how we are creating a zero knowledge proof, what exactly a zero knowledge proofs are. So if we want to share anything, and tell that person like this, I saw this, or we want to tell without revealing our page with whichever the page we visited. So that exactly ZK proof does. So let's start with creating an extension in Wootzapp for creating a proof and publish it on or you can say build a contract on Starknet. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes.
So first of all, as you all know about, as I already told about the Starknet, and that's what we are going to do is do for creating a proof. So for that, you first has to install Wootzapp from Play Store. So Wootzapp is an application which we are working on and we are creating our proofs on. So first install the Wootzapp from Play Store. Then our second step is to create, or you can say create an extension, but there is some prerequisite for building an extension. Let's just talk about that. We first have been using a Python version of, you can say Python 3, Python version 3.10.12 or greater. And we also have Rust in our system as well. So what we are going to, and at the install version package manager or ASDF for downloading Scarf. The version of Scarf we are using is 2.11.2, and the Garga for verifying of the proof, like is our proof is valid or not. So these are the places. Let's first install, you can see an ASDF. I already installed, but you can use this links or you can download the ASDF from their official. Let's just check it about ASDF. So I have already installed an ASDF version of 0.15. And after that, we need to install this Scarp. For installing the Scarp, we first had to add a plugin of Scarp with ASDF and get download the Scarp with the version of 2.11.2. So ASDF plugin add Scarp. This will add the plugin of Scarp in our ASDF package manager, which help us to download the Scarp. Now we can download the Scarp, whichever we want to. Like I'm going to download the Scarp 2.1, which is already installed. Let's just check for its version. It's present with 2.11. So our first step is to like build a extension which we are going to host on GitHub. So for building an extension, our first step is to create an normal React app. And then we are going to host that extension on our Wootzapp to test or create a post. So let's just create and create React app in the same directory. So as you know, just yes, this will create another directory in my and downloads all the dependencies, node modules, as well as all the files which we are going to use for building an extension. So it's building, you can say downloading or installing all the packages of React. As the package is downloading, meanwhile we can go and I can show you about what we are going to do with Garga. So Garga exactly is, you can say, you can say a verifier which used to verify whether our proofs are valid or not. So we also need to install Garga as which used to verify, and we are also going to deploy this contract whichever we are going to make for our proofs on a Starknet blockchain. So this exactly we also need to install Garga for that. Let's just install Garga. As you see in readme steps, you know about the steps of Garga. As let's just install Garga as well. Pip install Garga. So as I already installed, uh, I have Garga in my system. It's installing. Yes, it's installed Garga with latest version of 0.16. So now let's just first create an extension which we are going to use and how we are going to create a post. So first creating an extension, we need to just clear some things from our directories of whichever is not like deleting of favicon, and we are going to use this icon as well. So let's first modify our manifest file, which we need to make it for, which we really need it to make it an extension. So we really need a version for, we need the manifest version as well as the version of our app. So for building an extension, manifest version should be 3. And let's just clear other things as well. Extensions uses actions and default URLs and default HTML. So if we go to extents, and it will give me suggestions of pop-up as well as logo. So this is all about extension manifest. So now let's just clear some of these files from React App, which we do not need right now. So in this session, in this app.js, I'm going to use my code, or you can say I'm going to use and tell you about what exactly I did here. So let's just make a UI simple and simple, which you can say zk coaching. So just a heading. And but now let me use my. So let's just comment out these functions as first. So as you see, clearly see, these are just the headings of, and I am also getting the current URL of the page, for which I am going to create a proofs considering this as an active URL, whichever the tab page is open right now in my Wootzapp. So let's just get these functions to be defined, handle proof generations. So what exactly this function is doing, let's just not focus on this. So when we click on our on click button, what exactly it does is it send a message to our background file, which now we are going to create a background file, send a message of generate proof, and also sending an active URL, whichever the URL we are using. So let's just add URL as well to get our active URL. So I forgot before that. Yeah. So what we are doing here is we are using Chrome tabs API, which exactly working on Chromium extensions. So we directly use that to get our current window, and setting our URL as current and using that URL directly in our code to pass it to the browser code. So we are good with this stuff right now. Let's just do one thing, create a background summary. Now we are going to create a background.js. So background.js is going to listen for this message generate. Let's add a simple function that is used that works on whenever this message got. You can say a listener for this message specifically. And after this getting a URLs, what we are going to do is, instead of this, what we are going to do, we are going to send a message to our Woods API, which we are using, which we implement in our browser for creating proofs. This was the API which we are using for creating proofs. Yeah. Yes. So what we are doing here is, like, whenever we receive a message from our app.js file in our background.js to create a proof, like for this message, what we do is we run this chrome.woods.generate zk proof API, which is available in a browser code. That API does is it's take a URL and string, or you can say any content, any proof which you are going to make a proof of that context. It will be sent in a string format, but it can be anything in any content, any code, or you can say anything which you are going to send, which you are going to create a proof. So these two parameters are needed, and I am using this proof as a callback. So to get the response from our browser. So I'm sending this response of proof, and this function is going to take the response from that message, and it directly display the message here. The message format will have the this proof is in a format having all the things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to beautify it first to properly visible to all the users. This is the JSON display which we are going to which we are going to make. What this file is going to do is this take a response with some parameters, like what parameters are we getting, and you can see here this exactly the response we are getting from like let me paste it here. This response are exactly we are getting. This is the JSON format we are getting from our servers, from our browser in a response to our API that we run with chrome.wooz.generate zkproof. It will have a proof, verification key, and a public inputs. So what we did is we take a response and take the proof, verification key, and public inputs, and just display it to copy and to create a and to generate, or you can call data or deploy it on a blockchain. So I just beautify this code, and you can say is to copy. It will help you to copy the code. Let's remove this thing, and let as I just add a background.js, I also need to update in our extension for background scripting. We are going to declare like this for our extension part, and for run our API, run API of Chrome.Woods, what we had to do is we had to declare another permissions for Woods. We had to add in a permission for Woods to make it work. Let's add it here. Permission Woods. This will help us to make this code work, make this API work. And just I think, and to get our extension and icon, we are going to make a folder of icons, as this is the way Wootzapp is going to check it for icons. And just to place or you can say use this icon in this folder, and change the name of this one, icon.png, and updating it same in these files. We do not need this updating icons, right? And one more thing, we are going to we had to display it like for 16 if we need it. 16 for 16-bit, or 16 pixel, 48 pixel, but what we are going to use here is for directly the 128 or 192, whichever it is. We are going to use that, right? So we do not need this. And for all this, to beautify all the code and everything, Let's just add CS of that as well. I added the CSS. Mm, Now let's please check it. Now after this, we need to build our extension. So, but the way we are going to build the extension is by using npm run build. This will build a directory which have all the code of what we wrote in a compiled version, and we are directly going to use that. Okay, so we are getting an error. So what exactly the error is saying? You need to import React, like for this React. Okay, let's just import React, and it is also showing us an error of Chrome. So whenever we are going to use a Chrome API, Chrome.boards, Chrome.runtime, we need to declare a global variable, global Chrome, which help us to use these Chrome.apis, Chrome dot it, right? And we also need to import JSON here as well. And if checking is there, we also need to add Chrome, global Chrome here as well. So right now this will build the VRFX will build the code. Right. So now we need to pack this extension to create an CRS file. So let's just go to any of the browser and open manage extension pages. You can see here we have an option of developer tools. Enable it first, then load unpack. Or you can drop this thing as well, right? So do not go for this, like we are going to edit for a Wootzapp. So what we did is now first load unpack and desktop, wherever the folder is. Yeah. So here we need to build, or you can say we need to load for this. This will load it directly here. Could not load manifest, invalid values for icon. This will help us to check for whether our manifest is okay or not. Let's just change in our manifest for our icons. Like it will be like here for all of these. We do not mm, no, so now again building the extensions. Again checking whether we are good to go with. So like here you can see we are able to build an extension. But we were not getting any. Let's just. So now you can see here you are able to build an extension. Now let's just pack it to create and get a build.crx file in our directory as well. So here you can see you got two files, build.crx and build.pam. So what exactly this build.pam does is build.pam is just private key and we need build.crx. So to check it or make it work on Wootzapp, what we are going to do is just a second. Yeah, I'm sharing a link. We need to create an issue with exactly make it work for our which will directly add our extension that we build in our Wootzapp. So it's Let me get the link of. So here you had to create a new issue. I'm sharing this link. Okay, I'm sharing this link in chat. You can use this link for to create a new issue. So now let's just create a new issue and click on new extension submission. Here you can see we are asking for some of the information from you, like please your CRS manifest. For now, you can just make it a random values, some anything like random or something, or you can make like 10 or 20. Name of your extension, ZK proofing extension. Description, this extension is using secretly your pages. We need to add the versions, author, whichever we need to tags like anything, ZK proofs. And here you see it is asking for please upload a zip file containing your extension file name as extension.crx and your icon file name as icon. So let's just create that first. Here you can see a CRX. Let's rename it as extensions. Extension. I think it's extensions or extension. It's extension. Let's rename it to extension. And we also need another icon, which name as icon.png, so we can directly use it. Let's just create another folder here. Name as to upload and move both the files, or you can say copy both the files here. So now this folder has both the files. Now we need to make a zip out tag. If you are on Windows or anything, you can just use your normal process. I'm going to use it using a command line, zip line to upload. So zip and the folder name. This. Let's make it simple. Okay. We need to move it outside and check it for LS, right? Now let's zip it to upload. So zip name of folders. Now we have a folder name here, folder as well. Just drag and drop, or you can directly upload your folder as well. You just uploaded the zip. Now just create an issue for that. So we got the issue. Now, as you see, whatever we wrote, the extension, zk proof extension, this extension, Wootzapp, and the zip. So let me just so before that, let's just check on Wootzapp about whether the code is running, or you can say, let's just check about Wootzapp. So this is the Wootzapp application, which you can directly download it on download it from Play Store. I already downloaded. Let's just open it in, and you can check it. This is the place where we are displaying our role extensions. There's a Wootzapp wallet and all. Here you can see this already build extension of zk proofing. So as you see that there is nothing our new extension. Now let's just update the extension as you create just issue. Let's just add it on. So our GitHub actions tell is about extension has been fully added, the download URL of extension, and the place of icon URL and the GitHub URL. So now just check it once after some reloads. It usually takes some time to cache of.
In the meanwhile, if there are any questions from the audience, feel free
Yeah.
to ask in the QA section. We'll be taking them as well. Just a reminder.
Yes, if anyone have any questions, you can ask. In the meanwhile, the browser is updating for extension.
In the meanwhile, I do have one question, if you mind, if I can ask. Um, Regarding like the resources you've used, like what would you say like would be the best resources like for the builders in the hackathon to learn more about zkTLS privacy? I've noticed that you installed Garaga. Garaga is an excellent SDK if you want to build like privacy apps. Or even like Wootzapp, like what would be like your suggestion for the builders of the hackathon to check out?
I would like to, like how I said exactly extensions or Wootzapp extensions are working, how I would like to suggest about this gist, or you can say this document is properly prepared, like what Wootzapp browser is doing, basic knowledge, what we needed for that, and how we are going to build the extension, what we needed to build an extension, and the things that we needed. All the stuff has been explained it here, like how we are going to build an extension or something, like, and how we are going to send, or you can say using our Wootzapp for sending it to browser to creating a proof. It's just, mm, and let's just move on to another thing. It's taking some time. So now just do one thing before, let's, as that extension is not published yet, let's just use our previous extension, whichever we built for, like, to know how exactly the other things are going to work. So now this is the extension of our ZK proofing. This extension usually simply use everything, like how we are going to send message, or our same API of how it got it from browser side. So as I just install the API, or sorry, extension. So this is our extension. First, we need to connect our Twitter account here, like if whether our Twitter account is logged in or not. So let me just log in my Twitter account. Here you can see my account is logged in. Let's just do one thing, how we are going to create our proofs. So what this code is going to do is, on whichever the page we are, like it's x.com/home, or we just open any pages for start. As we are on Starknet page and open for that. Generate ZK proof, it's showing a current URL. So let's just click on generate ZK proof. It will give us three JSONs, like proof JSON, verification key.json, and public. These JSONs, we needed these JSON to check or verify whether our proof is correct or not. Let's just start with that first. And for that, we first need to create some box side by side. Yes, just close all these. For that, we first need to make some of the files, like for these proof.json, verification key JSON, public JSON. Let's just create them. Uh, touch. This will create all these files. Now we are going to copy all the text and going to paste it here. Proof.json, format document, public JSON, and another verification key.json. These are all three files we needed, or we required to create a proof. First of all, let's just see whatever we need. Mm, let's see this document of Garga. First, we need, as we already installed Garga, Garga is telling us about to run the first function of Garga gen. What exactly this function will do? This will create a build folder. Let's just check whether our Garga is installed or not. So now just as you see here, it is showing us all the things that we need to create it. And whichever we commands it, these are for Garga. Let's just do first check whether our JSONs are correct or not. Garga call data. This is a command like that require users for that ask for all the files of JSONs, that ask all JSON files exactly. You can check it here as well. Garga, if you just wrote a Garga call data, it will tell you about like if these are needed, system proofs, VK, public inputs are for public JSON, VK is for verification key JSON, proof is for proof JSON. And the system we are using is Grok 16 for creating our for for creating proofs. We used Grok 16, so we need this. For now we also need Grok 16 ma- for checking whether our data is correct or not. Let's just run this Grok 16. So it gives some numerical values which we, if there will be any errors, it will give us the error. Now it can it's say like our data is correct. Now another, let's check for what we need. Gargagen. Let's run Gargagen. Gargagen, same for that. We need system verification key path. That path will be for the file. Let's run that. This will create a folder for this will create help. This system will help us to create our whichever the project directory will be. Let's just name as zkproofs for now. zkproofs. This will create a folder of zkproof whichever we need and make it a make gives a file of carrier which we need which we are going to deploy on our data. So after running this gen command, um, as you see here, it is asking for our secret files dot secret file. But exactly the secret file is take it takes some. Let's just first create a secret file. It asks for a is ask us first the thing like mm, is ask from us the RPC URL which are using the account address by which we are going to deploy or which we are going and the private key for that address. And let's just use the Starknet Sifolia RPC URL. And for getting this address and private key, we are going to use Bravos extension, which is a Bitcoin Star or in Starknet wallet. Let's just install that and create a wallet for create wallet addresses. Create new wallet. So here you can see we are getting a Bitcoin or testnet wallets. So first what we need to do is we need to enable for Starknet Sifolia. Yes, getting a Sifolia account. Mm, Let's just create it again.
There's also a question in the chat regarding the Wootzapp extension. Like, could you explain what exactly it was enabling?
So for this, Wootzapp is exactly enabling an extension which any user can use it on in your phone as well. Like most of the working are most of the things are working on our desktop browsers. Like extensions are working on a desktop browser, wallets are working on a desktop browser. So our Wootzapp is enabling extensions in Android, which we can easily do. And this Starknet extension, if anyone wants to build, or you can say we are going to use, or you are, if you also want to deploy or you any extension in Woots, you can also do that. And for Starknet, you can deploy your own functions, whichever you want to verify and create a proofs for that.
Thank you.
Now just create a wallet as well. Get the time.
Just a reminder, we're also approaching the last part of the workshop. We'll roughly have more like 7 to 8 minutes. There's another question regarding the question is, I see that in all demos, we're using Bravos. Can we use Argent wallet as well?
If Argent support for Starknet, then definitely we can use that as well. Let me check for Argent wallet. Yeah, we can also use Starknet wallet as well.
Besides, I think like Argent and Bravos are one of the leading wallets on Starknet. I believe there's other integration as well with Kepler, for example, and with MetaMask Snip 5 or something like that. Snips? Could be wrong.
I think I need to install Args, and there is some issues with Starknet for getting its testnet Sifolia Starknet test Sifolia. It is showing me some errors with their APIs, I think. Let's try it. I think mm, let me just use my older account addresses, which I use for deployment. This is the address. It has some account balancing as well. So the private key for that is, I also have that private key. So after having this secret file, what we just need to do is run just check for Garga functions, like, and to declare the project. Garga first moves to the directory of zkproofs. Now Garga declare project. We had to tell us about the project part. Like we are in that directory, that's why I am writing for dot. Now, what exactly this thing done is declare a project on whether we are good to go with or not. This will give us a class hash which we required in our further runs. Yes.
Okay. Seems like you're still with us, Dev, right? Mm, Dev, I think we may have like a small technical issue on his end. Looks like cursor is not responding. This is what happens with live workshops usually. You always have these free up throws. Live workshop, like trust me, I've done a couple of them. It's always like everything can go wrong. So like there's like I don't know, like from like application failing to everything. But I think we're reaching an end of this workshop. I'm gonna give maybe Dev one more minute until he rejoins. But overall, I think we're kind of like at the end of the workshop. Um, I think he had a README file in his tutorial. There, you have all the necessary steps, and you'll be able to follow up along. But let me let me wrap things up here. So there we go. Thank you, thank you for this workshop. I think it was very insightful for learning how to create zkTLS proof identity with Wootzapp. I think some of this stuff is kind of like mind blowing because there's a lot of components and like creating a verifiable identity proofs while maintaining privacy is quite the hot topic. There's like SDKs such as Garaga that's quite huge, so I would definitely invite you to explore them out and see the true power of the zero knowledge technology. Now, just to wrap up the day, this is the day, the fourth day of the Starknet Reignite Hackathon. Just to do a recap, we had the office hours with support from mentors. We have a workshop on mobile app development with Starknet Dart, and finally the zkTLS identity proof with Wootzapp. Just remember, we're approaching the halfway of the Reignite Hackathon. Teams are already formed. If you're still missing a team member or you're still missing a project, feel free to join the Telegram chat. All the discussions happening there and collaborations as well. Every workshop is recorded and every workshop is tailored to give you insights and support to build your next project. And if you need any resources on the hackathon, feel free to access the page. You have everything there. Also, we have like a Notion resource pack. You'll be able to access it. Day 4 is done. You have mobile skills, identity solutions, and mentorship support. The building continues, so looking forward to all the submissions. Rest up will be available on the Telegram group for async support, and wishing you all a fantastic day. Take care.